Welcome back to Warrior with the Edge. Whatever, just move on. At least half the job is done anyway. Hi, Kylina. Bye, Kylina.
Hi.
Joy.
What we need to do now is to move again the platforms in order to reach the opposite part of the palace. Unfortunately, no, this is not the right combination, so we need to move even further. There we go. This should be the right setting. The game even tells you with that camera close-up. Charming of you.
Well, at least it'll be over soon.
Yeah, this one is actually more easy to reach than the previous one, and I don't know how you grabbed that ledge. Whatever, who knows?
Alright then.
Alright, then these next... Oh, by the way, we're like clueless guards where we're not before. Also, another thing I need to mention about the artworks video unlocked. I never bothered, and usually don't even show, because despite being decent artworks on their own, it's not really worth it to collect not like this. I mean, especially with this day and age of YouTube. Yeah, it's a nice thing that they are there, but still, it's not worth the excruciating time to track down every single treasure chest. The time slowing mechanic here is pretty much required because you need to move to the upper gardens, and in order to do so you need to use these platforms that retreat after like immediately. So using there you go, the slow time, you can make it just right in time.
It was weird. This was around the time where these kinds of platformers were doing really badly, funnily enough. There was Tomb Raider, Angel of Darkness, and Devil May Cry 2 the previous year.
Well, Devil May Cry 2 counts more like an hack and slash than a platformer, so... But yeah, still about the game in its own right, don't worry.
Could you speak up, please?
Not just that, the timing with the subtitles, dude. I know it's hard to do, but you're having like 2 or 3 lines in the game.
I don't see why it's hard to do. I mean, this was 2005, was it? 4? I mean, by this point, there were plenty of subtitles in games.
Lost over again.
It was an actual standard.
Anyway, thanks to the Lion Sword, killing enemies is much more easier, thank goodness. So we don't have to deal too much with them.
So what you're telling us here is that we're killing in the name of
Christmas #1 2009, everyone. I'm not joking, that actually happened.
Come on. There you go. Rob, yeah.
God damn it, Rob, just
Yeah,
stop.
Robin is yelling at the top of his lungs to be a better performance, but anyway, this room is peculiar. Well, first you need to dispatch the birds, which they stand there doing nothing. Again, the AI in this game is so mind-boggling buggy.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Incredibly bizarre to do. It's like looking at a weird experiment gone wrong. Anyway, what you need to do is to actually raise the platforms, I think, in order to proceed to the area where the actual lever to open the door is. But before doing that, I think we need to open like that door in the center right there, I think. But in order to do so, basically you need to play around a bit with this room, which seems there are 2 levers to activate. And you also need to move a bit upper, which the reason why there's still the music is that there's one of the bird demons up there, and you need to actually go up there and defeat it. Here I'm just showcasing with...
Right. Jover, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I was just resetting. My connections on Discord seemed a bit fuzzy.
Sure. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything.
More edge.
Yeah,
edge
like
and...
the edge of the blade.
Oh, well, to be fair, being in a garden, at least there is some color here.
This game is so bland and forgettable that literally I immediately forget about each part right after we do it.
Really?
Well, at least Robin Atkin Downs got a slightly better part when he was in Uncharted 4.
Well, like anything is better
How
than
about
this. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, this is. I can think that this is maybe the only major role where Robin Atkin Downes was had a a bad role in his career. A major role, I mean, at least I don't remember all of his roles. I didn't even hit him. Why did he scream? Whatever. Again, I don't want to argue with this AI and these graphics. There we go. Let's have us. Yeah, there we go. Slow. By the way, the sword that you can get from these bird demons is actually really good, but it depletes its durability very quickly. So it's a high risk, high reward kind of situation. So it's up to you deciding if you want to use it or just opt for other weapons. There we go.
Oh, my recording's gonna be kaput for this part thanks to Windows 10.
It's okay, we got mine.
What time are you guys at?
6:21.
Go to 7.
Your computer
Okay.
cannot handle the edge, the Jova.
Yes. Your computer is moldering
But guys,
with the generic range.
of course Windows 10 can handle the Edge because that's what the new Internet Explorer is called, literally Microsoft Edge.
And no one still wants to use it for good reasons. All right, there you go. Activating the lever here should open the center door, which will allow us to go to the room with the
Oh my god, the
proper-
colour over the grey.
Yeah.
Okay, garage over. 3, 2, 1, click.
God. Yeah, another thing. Moving those levers, as I mentioned, feels first heavy, but there's also the problem of that sometimes, for some reason, it doesn't like feel that you're moving them. Actually, you need to move with the camera in order to have a proper analog movement. I don't know why. There we go. Yeah, that's charming. The prince can actually slit the throat of the enemies like that.
Oh, wonderful.
But there's
But
sand.
I hit it. Why did it disappear?
I don't.
So the game just cheated.
This game.
This fucking game, everyone. Oh.
That doesn't even sound like he's hurting. It sounds like he's tired of this. Oh man, more of this shit.
Or you just step this toe in a pool of water or something. Oh. Yeah. At least I hit this one. There we go. Oh, and now we need to have the screaming enemies. The good thing about them is that they have very low health, so you need like either a throwing weapon or... It seems like the hit detection after those pillars doesn't exist anymore, and when you throw a weapon, it just doesn't have effect.
Is this what inspired the makers of Punisher Warzone or something?
Is that what happens in that movie, Weaves?
Well, no, I'm saying all the violence here is ramped up to gratuitous levels.
Well, that's also what happens in Tarantino movies or Robert Rodriguez, so can you be a bit more specific?
Well, the problem with Warzone is it feels like an 80s movie, but unlike the Expendables, it can't even do that right. It just feels too weird, and at times it's boring.
Weird. Anyway, normally you should proceed further using the trees, but if you go there, as you can see, this is one of the easy ones to spot. You can actually climb down, more down and down, up to in order to reach a secret entrance to one of the life-extending gauntlets. That's a nice touch, but for some reason we decided to hit the entrance of this one under these many, the road to reach this one is very long and without anything substantial. I don't know why we decided to do that. Usually it's like very near and you just pick it on the go. But here you need to do all this shit just to get down to it.
Because they love you.
Yeah, Prince, you just smacked against a pot. You don't need to scream at top of your lungs. There we go.
Sorry about that.
Nah, don't worry.
Sorry about
Anyway, here we go.
I accidentally disconnected my headset.
Don't worry, Dweebs. As far as the death routes go, this one is relatively tame. You just need to be careful about the spikes. But as long as you're dodge rolling, you should be fine. There we go. It's just a matter of how the things are combined together, but otherwise it's pretty tame compared to the others by that combined other.
Can't you just jump over them?
The Prince jump is very limited. The best thing you could do is to do the wall climbing thing. However, it's not recommended, especially if there are those rotating sickles. Anyway, there you go, it's done.
Ugh.
Time to get stoned more. Jesus, these models look ugly. I mean, the face models. The body and the details on the clothes, it's fine. Nothing too special, but detailed enough for the PS2, Xbox, GameCube era. But the faces, my god, what have they done to them? It's like Ubisoft never bothered to actually program faces detailedly. I mean, in later games, they're just fine, nothing special, but here is just particularly bad, worse even than the first one.
Yeah.
You don't say.
And yes, the enemy has responded. Fucking, and so I need to hear all those screams all the way when it goes up. Can you imagine the recording sessions for these? How it went like for the voice actors? All right, I need you just to, for this your generic enemy number 1, 2, 3. You need to scream at top of your lungs like if he stomped at your feet.
Okay, I just for added realism, I'm actually going to stomp on your foot.
It's funny you mentioned that, Vives. I know you tend to be forgetful or other things, but for context, have you seen Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers?
Yes.
I
know about the scene where out of range,
hold on, hold on.
Hold on, Dweebs. Let me do this.
Basically, for context, Pedro, do you remember the scene where Aragorn finds the site of, he's been told, oh, the hobbits are dead, and he finds the site with all the
I
Uruks
think so,
and
yeah.
everything. Basically, during that scene, during his frustration, he kicks a Urukai helmet and then screams in rage, because, his friends are dead and everything. Apparently, according to the interviews and everything, that scream was actually legit because Viggo Mortensen kicking that thing broke like two foot toes. So it essentially was all improvised.
I mean, why did they even make that helmet out of metal in the first?
Yeah, it was only for that specific scene. Peter Jackson was a dick.
Well, mind you, if it were Alfred Hitchcock, he probably would have I don't know. He probably would have had like all the helmets had spikes on them or something.
Probably, and for more effects, he would have replaced whatever they use for Urukai's blood with actual chocolate syrup. That's the thing, Weebs. He actually used chocolate syrup for the blood effects in Psycho. The shower scene you're seeing, actually, that's chocolate syrup.
Let me guess, the 1998 one did that as well.
I don't know.
Well, it's a quote-unquote shot-for-shot remake.
Well,
that's
updated effects and whatnot, so who knows?
Yeah, but from what I could tell, the 1998 version of Psycho is just the first movie verbatim.
Yeah,
It's
I
in
don't
color,
get
though.
why they decided to do a remake of that. I mean,
Because
did it
Gus
really
Van
need
Sant,
it?
because Gus Van Sant had like the carte blanche in Hollywood to do whatever he wanted, and then he chose to remake Psycho.
Also, if I recall correctly, the 1998 one's in color.
Yes.
Big deal.
So basically, yeah, unless they somehow painted the chocolate red.
Well,
doubt
strawberries,
it's the same.
strawberry juice.
Hell,
yeah,
Viggo Mortensen was
big
actually
over.
in. Viggo Mortensen was actually in that movie.
There we go. When we thought to get the rope.
Well, that reminds me. Wonder how long they're actually filming Lord of the Rings.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I was just wondering how long they actually filmed Lord of the Rings, considering
Well,
that
they need
it's
for the
three big films back to back.
it was non-stop Dweebs because they wanted to do the yearly release, but I don't know how much in development it was.
I can imagine it lasting a
release.
while.
Yeah, well, remember it was non-stop in order to, as I mentioned, to guarantee the annual release.
Oh yeah, I found it. It ran from October 1999 to December 2000. So I guess that must have. I guess now I finally know how Ian McCallum managed to do X-Men.
Yeah.
He must have done the filming before they started filming.
Yeah. Now, there you go. That activates the door, but unfortunately it's one of those pressure places, so you need actually to use a box in order to be in. The problem is the box is on the other side of the bridge, so what am I doing? So essentially you need to lower that bridge first. But it's really easy. You just need to jump here, defeat the Birdman, and pull the lever. And yes, it's the correct lever, Bridge. I mean, in this case, there are not even two levers, so...
Yeah, I know what you're getting at.
Oh, by the way, did I mention that the heat detection when it comes to climbing on the walls is very dodgy as well? Like, you can have a situation when you want to climb the wall, using the climb wall move in order to jump and everything, but instead the prince just tip-taps, like, for some reason. And the sword was helping me there. Oh my god, this fucking game. There we go. Oh, by the way, another thing I forgot to mention is I'm gonna show it in later parts, I mean the finale parts, but there are actual special types of weapon that you can find in this game. And I mean not the main one, I mean the secondary weapons. And they range from different types and different types of, you know, weapon itself. For example, you can get what's the name? Like one of the pink a flamingo golf club, like the one in Alice in Wonderland.
Seriously?
Yes. Then there's something that I will show like Rayman's globe. Yes, back in the day when Ubisoft was still remembering Rayman. And what people called the moldy cheese sword, which is essentially this sword that it's colored like shining green, but but in the official poster it looks like it's emanating odors, so people think like it's covered in moldy cheese. There we go.
Man, it keeps falling off a lot.
Yeah, don't worry, don't bother, babes. Pedro's recording is fine.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What?
Also the dodgy frame rate. Now that's fantastic. Now we just need to go back and enter the center. From the center door that we just opened, we should be reaching the area where we can pull the lever in order to activate the other part of the main door of the throne. So thankfully, this one is actually more easier to reach than the clockwork gear one with the giants and everything. But for now, I'm just gonna save. All right, then. As I mentioned, in the next part we're gonna cross the central door and hopefully get to the lever. See ya.
All right.
See
See
ya.
you then.